Hello and welcome to the Mattniverse. Today we're going to further explore HiveSwap Friendsim. Volume 2 is now out, a lot shorter than I kind of expected. I kind of expected a few months maybe, but it's out, so I'm pretty happy with that. First thing I already saw is that they changed the title basically from what they had last time, so now it actually just says HiveSwap Friendsim. I kind of liked it the other way with the whole changing colors. Now it just kind of jiggles. It's really weird, but anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So now we have 2 new people we can go find. And I guess there's only one more after that. Oh, that sucks. But Volume 2 of Aesthetics, Crimson, and Otherwise. Let's see, stumble through the alien streets of a strange alien world. Ever since you crash land on this hostile planet, you have been desperate. Desperate for information, for provisions, and possibly for a bit of medical attention. Along the way, you've had some laughs, embarrassing missteps, and maybe even an encounter with an alien meat products. You don't really want to go into it. What you want to get into is friendship, of course. An entire planet of endless friend opportunities awaits you. Honestly, at this point you'd make friends with one of these weird purple bushes. You're not picky. Wait, you see something in the distance, or perhaps someone. So here's our 2 new characters. Amicia, I believe, Erdihen, and Sarava, I guess we'll call that, her mod. Alright. But with like the last one, we'll just go with the first one, then we'll just work on the other one later. She seems pretty fun though. Looks like an artistic type. Lo, what light through yonder weirdly organic architecture breaks? A small figure approaches. Oh? Oh my gosh! You are so far you've swallowed quite a few insults in regards to your looks and intelligence level. You aren't really the type to let that shallow opinions of others get you down. But it's been kind of a rough day. You brace yourself. Cute! Oh. She gives you a sweet, sincere smile. I've never seen anything like you. It gives me all sorts of new ideas. Boy, do you hope some of those ideas are about friendship? I doubt it. Now that you've got a taste of it, you are hungry for more. You take a stumbling step forward and your ribs remind you that although the potential of camaraderie is enough to improve your mental health, it can't cure acute injuries. Oh? You don't look so good. Come inside. I've been looking for new contributors. Contributors? Could she mean friendship contributors? No, that's dumb. Why? I mean, you gotta keep your mind open to possibilities. Maybe she runs some sort of alien newspaper and she wants you on staff. She looks a little young for that, but what the heck do you know about alien management hierarchy? You follow her to a nearby building, and now that you're looking up from your ravenous hunt for companionship, you notice that you've wandered into a kind of upscale part of town. There's a lot less garbage and people collapsed in the street. You see one of those spiky robot things, but it's washing a window instead of shooting a laser at a group of children. That's a good thing. If that's not high class, you don't know what is. Before you can follow her inside, she turns around on the threshold, blocking your way. Real quick, you don't happen to be an artist, do you? Artistry? Well, as a matter of fact. Tell her yeah, it isn't exactly your whole deal, but you've been known to dabble. Tell her no, you never had much of a knack for it. Let's say I have kind of a graphic designer background, and that's what I'm going to college for. I'm gonna say yeah, I dabble. Oh, I see how it is. Well, you aren't going to snake road into any trade secrets out of me. Goodbye. Oh, rejection, you completely blew it. Yeah, she flicking me off? Oh. Well, that's companionship down the drain. Already. But I do dabble. I mean, that's what I do. I guess I'm gonna have to lie. No, I don't dabble, apparently. So we're gonna go ahead and just, skip all that and tell her no. Oh, good. Friendships between artists can be so fraught. Much better to just keep things between artists and art appreciators. That way no one can get jealous. The girl's smile widens even further and you feel an unbelievable rush of joy. Have you finally found someone who isn't a total fucking maniac? And she brought up friendship without you having to mention it at all. It puts a spring in your step, or as much of a spring as possible with a broken arm and misaligned torso. Amicia leads you into an elevator with buttons labeled in spiky letters that make absolutely no sense to you. You realize that probably nothing is ever going to make sense to you again. That's okay. Your hierarchy of needs has adjusted recently. Your new friend, you're jumping the gun with this descriptor, but you're feeling seriously good about this encounter, stands in the corner of the elevator, wringing her claws. I wish I had known I was going to have company. I would have cleaned up a little. It's been a while since I've met anyone new. You are sure that whatever disaster her house is, it can't be any worse than other places you've seen here. Yeah, our daughter was kind of crazy with her decorum and the fact that she kind of tortured people. Really weird, but that's what her subscribers, I guess, liked. So, yeah, you can't blame people for their tastes, I guess. I mean, that's what she does and people liked it. Although you kind of get what she means, she's wearing an artist smock that's covered in splashes of paint. Actually, it doesn't really look like paint, but it couldn't be anything else, could it? It's every color of the rainbow. Nice place. Very, bright. I like it. A lot better than the dark places I've been. The elevator door slides open and you step into a space that you are relieved to find is totally recognizable. A table overflows with messy palettes and brushes, cloudy jars of water and sponges. Several, easels. Yeah, trying to remember the word. Several easels stand beside the window to catch the light of the two moons, and a number of canvases lean against the wall, turned so you can't see what's on them. First things first. Amicia brings you over to a wall screen that looks way more high-tech than anything you have on your now defunct spaceship. Tapping away at a series of unreadable symbols, she then indicates you should take off your sling. Here! Go ahead and stick it in here. Or in there. She wants you to put your injured arm into a large hole in the wall, which you do, because you are sure your new friend has your best interests at heart. The hole shrinks down like a blood pressure cuff, sending bolts of agony through you. Jeez. You want to yank your arm back, but you don't. Even if it's broken, you still like having it attached to you. Instead, you shout a lot and thrash your other limbs around. Make sense? Calm down, you big wrangler. About to say whiner. It's like you've never seen a medicalizer before. It's you. If you don't stop moving, it won't work. Tears spill down your cheeks, but you force yourself still. You'll bear the pain. You'll do it for your friend. She's looking at you so hopefully, and she's so delicate and pretty, almost angelic. You look at her face and tell yourself it's all going to be okay. Finally, the hole releases you and you pull your arm back out of it, to find it completely healed. You can move your fingers. It doesn't even hurt anymore. Hey, things are looking up. See? I told you. This is great. You were overwhelmed with the urge to celebrate. Be chill about it. Get excited and dance your new friend around the room. That's probably not a good idea. I don't know if I like that. How about if I just be chill about it? You thank Amicia profusely, but you manage to keep it to a strictly verbal sort. Medicalizers are great. This part of the city is great. You really need to get more rich friends. You tell her this, throwing in a compliment of her studio while you're at it. See, this friendship stuff is easy. I'm glad you feel that way. You're obviously really strange and under-socialized, but you don't seem to be a complete cultural idiot. Plus, I think it's really endearing how helpless and trusting you are. You laugh, slightly unnerved. I would be too. You want to take that as a compliment, but after a recent encounter with another girl in blue... Well... It all ended up okay, and Amicia is so nice and friendly, and she keeps calling you cute, which you think is pretty generous of her considering a disgusting mess you are at this point. Speaking of low bloods, what's your blood color? Just out of curiosity. Blood color? You aren't really sure what she's talking about, but red? You tell her that it's red. She looks a little disappointed. I've got plenty of burgundy. Oh well, good thing I have a delivery coming soon. Hey, do you think you can help me set a few things up before they get here? They? Visitors? As in plural? As in multiple potential friends? Oh, hell yes. You were all over that, especially considering your newly healed arm. You were anxious to display all the simple motor functions you can perform. Amicia gives you another radiant smile. You live for those smiles, man. They are just so full of the glowing nectar of bromance. Perfect. Let's do this. Work always goes faster with two pairs of hands, after all. Yes, absolutely it does. And even if by that she means to mean her hands are pointing while she's telling you where to put things, you're totally fine with that. Of course. Your ribs are still kind of killing you, but you swallowed down the pain. You were getting pretty good at that. Too bad you can't stick your whole torso into that medical science fiction hole in the wall. Medical. Well, maybe you could, but not right now. Right now you've got a friend to help. Amicia instructs you to clear all the furniture to the edges of the room and lay down a big purple tarp. Apparently tarps aren't blue on this planet. Amicia answers her phone and then buzzes open the apartment door. She runs over to the elevator with a squeal of delight. They're here! Sorry, I'm getting so giggly about this. It's just been a while since I've had any new paints. Wait, paints? That's what's coming? Now that you think about it, there is something pretty crucial missing from this whole artist aesthetic she's got going here. There aren't any paints. No tubes dribbling color or pots with their tops left partially unscrewed. There aren't even any pencils. The elevator opens and two trolls come in. They have pretty similar shaped horns and are almost the exact same height. Brothers? Do trolls have brothers? From their uniforms and the douchey swaggering way they walk, you get the idea that they are some sort of law enforcement. So people in law enforcement have a douchey walk, I guess. A douchey swaggering walk, apparently. Okay. That and the third troll in handcuffs they are dragging between them. Thank you guys. You always bring me the best materials. They don't say anything, they just bring the third troll to the center of the tarp and force them into a kneeling position. But then they bow to Amicia and leave the way they came. Oh god. This doesn't look great. Even before Amicia runs out of the room and comes back with an axe the size of her whole body, you are not loving this. The troll in the tarp trembles and bites back a sob, but then they don't say anything or try to run. She isn't really going to kill isn't really going to do what it looks like, is she? You can't bring yourself to believe that this cute little alien girl is going to straight up axe murder a dude right in front of you, presumably to finger paint with their blood. You stammer something to this effect. Amicia laughs. Well, I don't use my fingers. I'm not a fucking animal. She considers you for a few moments, tapping a claw against her mouth. I know. You can help me. I only ever let one other person help with my work, and she's out of town right now. But you and I have a connection. You feel it too, right? You do. God, you do. You've been feeling it too so much lately for everyone you met. You thought you had maybe come across someone who could readily accept your platonic longings without putting you through the ringer first. You do want to help me, don't you? You do. You want that more than anything. Amicia looks at you solemnly. Why don't you do the honors? Oh god. She holds out her axe. I won't offer this to just anyone, but I could tell how special you are. You're trembling. The troll in the tarp is also trembling, but unlike you, they seem to have accepted their fate. Slowly, inevitably, you hold out your hand for the axe. Amicia gives it to you with a smile. God damn it. You forgot about your broken ribs, and that you're a human and can't just pick up a gigantic fucking axe with with one hand. You drop it and it bounces away from you, like, way more than you think an axe should probably bounce. You look at Amicia from where you are doubled over with pain and shame. She laughs and scampers over to retrieve the axe, once again swinging it up without any signs of strain. She doesn't even have any visible muscles. What is this girl made of? How silly of me. You seem so culturally advanced that for a second I forgot about your natural inferiority. Here, I'll give you a second chance. You nod. Yes, please. A second chance that does not include committing gruesome murder. Usually, I just use chains, but I've got a better idea. Oh God. You get what she wants you to do. You hesitate and Amicia smiles get even sweeter, sweet like poison. Oh? You don't want to help me? The tarp crinkles underneath you as you kneel. You grasp the troll's shoulders and mumble an apology, then continue to say nothing. Amicia is sharpening her axe, which already looks pretty damn sharp. Hold on tight. You try. You really do. The problem is, you try to hold on tight, but at the same time you try to drag the troll out of the way. Some buried instinct to try to preserve life rising up inside you. You're weak and injured though, so all you end up doing is just flopping both of you a little to the side. Oh God. Instead of coming down at the neck in a clean slice, Amicia's axe glances off the troll's collarbone, mortally wounding them instead of killing them outright. And now you know why they have not been begging for their life. They don't have a tongue, so they can't beg, but they sure can yell, and thrash, and bleed olive green alien blood all over you in the tarp. God, there's so much blood. It's just spurting everywhere. Jesus Christ, you are such an idiot. Why couldn't you just commit? Now you're covered in dying alien, and so is everything else. Amicia, the work table, and most direly, the canvas is leaning against the wall. Amicia takes one look at them and lets out a wail of rage. Oh crap. I can't believe this! I let you into my hive, into my life. I was planning to let you into my pusher. I thought you were a refined sophisticate, but now I see you're just a Philistine. She gives you a shove towards the elevator. Your ribs are screaming and so is the bleeding troll. You try to babble an explanation. Forget it. I don't want to hear your excuses. Chahut was right. Chahut? Who's that? If you want something killed right, you have to kill them yourselves. You ride the elevator back down, kneeling in a pool of blood and failure. Aw, terrible at murder. Yeah, that's definitely right. So we'll see what the other option is. Just to be sure that I didn't miss anything. Well, I mean, there has to be an ending where it is, you know, where you do get friendship out of it. So what happens if I get excited and dance around the room? You try to resist the urge to celebrate. You fail to resist the urge. You take Amicia by her tiny hands and twirl her around the studio. Or you try to. You forgot about your busted ribs. You sure are doing that a lot. You let go of Amicia and go careening into one of the tables. Thankfully, not the one covered in art supplies. You hit the corner and go down onto your already incredibly sore ass. This is what you get for acting like a huge fucking tool in front of your new friend. Are you okay? Was that some sort of ritualistic rite of healing I've never heard of before? You shrug against the floor. Amicia leans down and picks you up in a bridal carry, despite the fact that she's about half your size. It makes your ribs hurt, but what doesn't nowadays? True. Amicia lays you down on a weird lumpy couch. Are you sure you're okay? You look a little... She trails off to nothing. She's looking at your left arm, which you have draped over yourself awkwardly, to sort of try to hold your torso together. That color. At first you think she means the color of your skin, which is different than her light gray. Then you think she means the truly fantastic buffet of bruises you got going on. But then you realize that in your prancing idiocy, you've managed to scrape up the inside of your arm. Blood oozes sluggishly from the wound. That's pretty gross. Amicia dredges a finger through it. You're half expecting her to put it in her mouth, and for this to become a whole cannibal situation. Well, since you aren't the same species, it wouldn't really be cannibalism, but still, no thanks. Instead, Amicia just holds her finger up, the drop of blood trembling on the tip. This color. I've never seen anything like it. She dashes off to one of her tables, putting over a sketchbook and dragging her finger down on it. Your blood paints a rusty line down the center. She lets out a little squeak of excitement. This is amazing! What, red? Not red. There's a million dirty little rusties swarming all over this city. I'm drowning in red. This is crimson. It's incredible. You must be some sort of mutant. You're really lucky I found you instead of one of the drones. Lucky? You? Yes, very lucky. The luckiest. Though your arm is healed and you're out of whatever doubtlessly weird weather happens on this planet, maybe Amicia's right. Maybe you are lucky. You close your eyes and try to breathe, zen yourself out, really you center yourself in your own body and all that garbage. Zen. Breathe in. Breathe out. I think we're good. Oh god. And now she's back with the axe. Then you open your eyes and wow, you sure aren't centered anymore. In fact, you roll completely to the left as you try to get away from Amicia, who is back and standing over you with a gigantic axe. Watch out! Amicia grabs you, drags you back onto the couch, and plants your hand on the solar plexus, effectively pinning you down. You'll hurt yourself if you keep flopping around like a beach blubber beast. You want to be friends, don't you? You want to help me with my artistic aspirations, right? You get the feeling that she might be trying to manipulate you. Just the tiniest little suspicion. It's possible Amicia has recognized your intense craving for companionship and is trying to exploit it. You don't like being suspicious of a new friend, but that is a pretty big axe. I don't know what's gotten you so worried. I just want to show you my axe. Oh, of course. Makes sense. It is a really nice axe. You hold out your hand for it, but of course it is too heavy for you and your hands are all sweaty and you fumble it. Fumble the really sharp weapon. Amicia tries to catch it before it's too late, and somehow in all the wrangling struggle you end up getting cut. Like, very cut. Across both your wrists. Oh god. In fact, you don't think she could have aimed even better if she had been trying. Oh? Oh dear. Hard agree. Don't struggle. You'll only hurt yourself more, silly. You don't want to do that, do you? No, you definitely don't want to, not that. Not after a Butterfingers, not after what a Butterfingers you've proven to be. Amicia gets up to pick the Amicia gets up to put the axe down, and you kind of lose track of her for a little while. You are bleeding all over her couch, and everything around you starts to go shiny and unreal. She comes back with a couple of little jars, and she uses to catch your blood. That's a good idea. You sure are making a mess. You wonder if they are specifically blood jars. They look like jam jars. Alien jam. Space Jam. God, you love that movie. It's alright. It's okay. Kinda weird, but you get through it. It's pretty old. I mean, It's been so long since you've seen it. Yeah, true. Definitely the best PG movie about basketball. Yeah. Way better than the one with the dog and the clown. Dog and the clown? Not sure about that one. Talking about Air Bud? Do they even have basketball here? You ask Amicia. She just shushes you and brushes her hair back off your forehead. Or your hair back. Not her hair, that'd be weird. She just shushes you and brushes your hair back off your forehead. She keeps smiling and saying comforting things. God, she's such a good friend. Before too long, you do what is honestly a goddamn shock you haven't done before now. You pass out. It's probably a good idea. Oh, are you fine? You look fine. No more blood. When you come to, you are propped up against the wall in a weird way that you wouldn't love even if you weren't an invalid. And both of your arms are jammed in the hole in the wall. Even if you weren't an invalid. What? Okay. The med hole. The glory hole of well-being. Don't say that. The magic sphincter. Oh my god. You grunt and pull your arms back out. They're healed. The cuts on your wrists are just two faded pink lines. That's good. Thank you. You take a step away from the wall and immediately hit the ground. You may not be actively dying anymore, but you did just lose like half the blood in your body. Gosh, you're tired. Oh, hello. A little giggle makes you turn around, or roll over since you are still on the floor and probably not getting up at any time soon. It's fine. You've met worse floors in your life. Amicia is sitting at one of her easels, her hair pulled back beneath a scarf and a little round glasses perched on her nose. A jar of your blood sits next to her, and as you watch her, she dips a brush in. I'm glad you're awake. I was a little worried I actually killed you back there. She laughs, and you laugh along with her. It's very funny. Actually, everything is funny right now. It's probably the blood loss. I'd say so. You ask her what she's painting. You, of course. You inspired me. Well, right now it just looks like a bunch of red squiggles and some lines. But she only just got started. She's warming up. She sits there on her stool, looking at her palette and chewing on her lip thoughtfully. She looks somewhat nervous. Actually, I want to show you something. Something I've never shown anyone. She leaps up from her stool and crosses the studio. You roll to your other side to keep her in line of sight. You really hope she isn't getting another Space Jam jar. She starts turning around the canvases one by one. They are all blank, except for one, which has a little, wait, no, that's just a shadow. Every single one of them is blank. You aren't sure you understand. You ask her if all these are just new canvases that she has not gotten the chance to put paint on yet. Amicia sighs. No, I've had them for forever. I'm just not a real painter. There, I said it. She buries her face in her hands, talking from between her fingers. I'm really good at all the other parts, the materials in the studio. I even make all my own paints. I just can never do the actual sitting down and doing art part. She just looks so despondent. You wish that you could do something, but you don't really know that much about art, and you probably can't stand up either. You tell her that she looks like she's moving in the right direction at least. You don't even have a studio, or any brushes or stuff like that. Of course you have no aspirations to being a painter, but you leave that part out. That's just it. I feel inspired for the first time ever. I think it has to be your messed up, disgusting mutant blood. There's really no other explanation. She takes a knee beside you, picking up one of your limp hands with hers. They're cold, like she's been pressing them to a glass window in winter. Usually, I just finish off my contributors quickly. I don't have time to deal with a bunch of injured low bloods moaning around my studio. Yeah. But I couldn't just use your blood all up at once. You're far too special for that. You gaze at Amicia. A mist has descended over your vision, and it isn't even the mist of imminent death. I have to keep this precious blood safe. I think you might be my muse. You will never escape. Oh, goody. I don't know which ending I like better. The fact that I will never escape, the fact that I killed somebody, and then she kicked me out because of it, but the fact in the first part I chose the wrong answer and she flipped me off. That was kind of harsh, but still fun nonetheless. Oh man, I do like this. I like this. Meeting friends is interesting, especially in a weird world that you've never actually ever been to. You'll learn a lot. Oh man, can't wait to see what the other guy has in store, but this is great. This is great. I really do like it. Can't wait for volume 3 whenever that comes out to meet 2 more. Probably 2 more. I mean, that's how they've been doing it, so 2 more interesting people. Hopefully that doesn't take too long to come out. Like I said, this one came out a lot quicker than I expected. Expected like a month or two before something happened, but it's only been a few weeks. So that's cool. Yeah, I like playing new games and new parts of games that I played before. It's fun. But anyways, I think that'll do it for this one. So thank you for joining me for this crazy artistic adventure. I'll see you guys for the next adventure. Bye.